Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I got this story for you coming straight out of Las Vegas with a rogue cop who crossed the lines of criminality and got himself in hot water. And just when you think from our past, the controversial issues that took place with George Floyd in Minnesota, with a white cop sticking his knee on his neck during an arrest, and subsequently George Floyd died. You had the Mike Brown situation in St. Louis, where a white cop allegedly killed Mike Brown under auspicious circumstances. You would think racial profiling would be something that would be looked down upon in many of our police departments. Well, this one particular cop out of Las Vegas was racial profiling folks, falsely arresting individuals, and got his hand caught in a web. And now he's been arrested and sentenced for his crimes. You got to remember, Las Vegas is a place for tourism, for vacationing with family and friends. And the last thing you want to do is get arrested for something you did not do, get embarrassed in front of your family and friends and ruin your vacation. Well, this particular road cop allegedly was in the business of racial profiling and falsely accusing and arresting people of color in particular, and has gotten caught. So let's get into it. The Las Vegas police sergeant sentenced to prison for phony arrest and pornography. So who is this guy? A judge sentenced a former Metro police sergeant to at least 4 years in prison for orchestrating phony arrest, which mainly targeted men of color. In May, Sergeant Kevin Menon pleaded guilty to 8 counts after a grand jury indicted him in 3 separate cases. The charges include oppression under the color of office with immediate threat or use of physical force, subordination of perjury, and capturing the image of the private area of another person. This is where the pornography comes in. Menon agreed to serve 4 to 10 years in prison as part of his plea agreement. He will also have to register as a sex offender upon his release. So this guy has got a lot of things going on, and here it is, a bad apple in the Las Vegas Police Department that they need to get rid of. The last thing they want is bad press, being that Vegas is probably the #1 tourist city destination in the United States. This gentleman, Menon, he said, "I'm not the man these charges reflect." Menon said in court as Clark County District Court Judge Ron Israel sentenced him. "For any harm I have done," he said, "I beg for forgiveness." Judge Israel sentenced Menon to 4 to 10 years as per the plea deal, questioning why Menon accepted the plea if he maintained his innocence. The plea deal drastically reduced the amount of time Officer Menon, could have spent in prison if the case had gone to trial and a jury had convicted him. Since his arrest last year, which ultimately culminated in more than 50 charges, 50 by this sergeant, Officer Menon has been in and out of jail. A judge recently increased his bail to $1 million, though Menon was allowed to await sentencing while he was on house arrest. So here are some of the charges, or some of the allegations that he's been charged with. In the first case, the grand jury indicted Officer Menon for illegal stops and searches of mainly black men on the Las Vegas Strip, while Menon worked as a sergeant in plain clothes. Metro investigators said Officer Menon instigated situations with the public without probable cause. In one case, Menon ordered the search of a car without any reason, police said. In another, The sergeant, who often worked in a plainclothes capacity, intentionally collided with a person on a pedestrian bridge, leading to that man's arrest. So he's creating these scenarios to arrest men of color. After a search of Menon's home related to the first case, police said they found numerous images of child sex abuse material on Menon's devices. This resulted in the second case. Police returned to Menon's home where they found hidden cameras that Officer Menon installed in a bathroom to record family members using the toilet. This resulted in the third criminal case. Attorney Robert Draskovich, Menon's defense attorney, submitted documents from the police department showing that supervisors recognized him for good police work, including finding a missing teen, arresting gang members, and maintaining his calm during tense situations. That's Officer Menon's defense to being allegedly a good person and not a criminal for these crimes. Video shown to the grand jury in Menon's first case shows Officer Menon directing a team of officers to target individuals, pulling maneuvers such as shoulder checks to agitate the target and then arrest them. So bumping into innocent civilians on the Las Vegas Strip, causing a chaos, and then they allegedly arrested these innocent citizens. Menon's wife and his sister-in-law, identified as victims in the third criminal case, have stayed by his side through various court appearances. Both spoke at the sentencing and maintained Officer Menon's innocence. She said, I was never asked if I was a victim. I was told I was a victim. Natasha Menon, Kevin Menon's wife, said, I am not a victim of my husband. I am a victim of the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. After his initial arrest, the department placed Officer Menon on leave with pay and suspended his police powers pending an investigation. The department later stopped paying him. Menon separated from Metro in June, a spokesman said. Officer Menon tried to have Judge Israel removed from the case, citing allegations of abuse from his adult daughter. Judge Israel issued a response stating he should remain on the case but could not discuss certain issues about his daughter due to HIPAA. Clark County District Chief Judge Jerry Weiss decided Judge Israel should remain on the case. Officer Menon will be eligible for parole in 2029. What a crazy case here. And it makes you wonder, was this officer, Kevin Menon, suffering from some kind of mental illness? Is this just pure arrogance and egregiousness and thinking that he is above the law? Racial profiling individuals, having hidden cameras in his home and videotaping individuals using the restroom in his house, which led to the pornography charge. And as a result of his guilty plea, he's going to have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. You would think that a lot of these rogue cops today would temper doing these kinds of things, as I said earlier in this video, as a result of some of these high-profile incidents that have taken place between cops and citizens. But I guess you still have police officers that think they can do whatever they want, whenever they want. We need great public safety. We need great police departments, fire departments, etc. We need the right people in the right places so we can have a civilized society in America. And these kind of made up scenarios where he is racial profiling folks, going after them. Many of these individuals are probably on vacation with their family and friends, and to disrupt their vacations like this by falsely arresting individuals is something that should not take place in this first world civilized country that we live in. This is unfortunate, and luckily, the court system, the legal system, got this officer off the street, and now he had taken a deal. He has taken a deal to serve 4 to 10 years in prison. I'm sure Las Vegas tourism does not want these kind of road cops around disrupting the money making machine on the Las Vegas Strip. Tell me what you think. There are still some bad officers out here. There are still issues while driving black, and there are still officers that are racially profiling folks for no apparent reason. This guy had a lot of things going on, personal issues, and here again, I think he was living in an unhealthy environment mentally, and he thought he was above the law. And now he went from protecting folks, allegedly, wearing the badge to now becoming an incarcerated inmate. What a swing of the pendulum from being for the law and on the side of the law, and now he is going to be an inmate and prisoner for the next 4 to 10 years. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience.